so much evil has gotten this planet to now the very people who should be in control are no longer in control. And because of this, the planet is upset. They teach you that anytime wars break out, it's because, again, the sunspot activity is up. So when the sunspot activity is up, people get restless, wars break out, everything happens. It's just reverse. When people on a planet kill a lot, have no spirituality, you make the planet get upset. The planet asks for help. Help is given through the sun, which sends out polar prominences, or what they call energies per se. The planet absorbs that, takes it into its soul, and then re-radiates it with the energy it wants, which now is magnetic, because all around our Earth now are towers of power, electricity things. This whole planet now is on a very low circuitry of electricity. The planet says enough. So now the planet is beginning to attack all these towers. You got 3 major ones in your city, and I don't know how many minor ones as I see it. It's beginning to knock out these towers. It's beginning to knock these satellites that work on electricity. Everything that works on electricity holds you down. The planet is trying to free you up because it wants to free up itself. Right now, until you can get on a magnetic keel, you're holding back the progression of a planet. And the only reason the planet has not destroyed all these towers and all the people on that vibration is because many of you who are good souls, who have souls, are not ready. And when it kills your enemy or dislodges its enemy, it's going to kill you too. So it's saying, wake up. What I'm saying is not only Galactic Showdown, but the subtitle is, and many of you got that on the email, Wake Up Sheeple Before It's Too Late. Wake up sheeple before it's too late. There's still time. Sheeple is a cross between a person and sheep. Lead a sheep to slaughter, they'll follow. Tell a sheep anything, it will follow. It follows the Judas stone, and we still are sheeple, because until you can understand that you are not a sheep and not asleep, you worry. Huh? Until you understand you are people and not animals, you will act like animals and be led to slaughter. But when you awaken, you will find that your bodies, with you in it, operate differently because you have a pineal gland and a locked-in soul. To exude soul power, you have to use concentrated thought, you have to raise your vibrational rate, you have to stop eating all of the animals and all the now terminated seeds, or to the best of your kind, try to do what you can to eliminate the bad results of eating them, if that's all the food you can get. That can be done too. If the sun is hot, why is it that where it's now, as I understand, where I come from in Chicago, 33 degrees below zero? That I understand also, over in Europe again, there has been a drought and heat wave. That there's drought and heat waves now in the fur. That there's drought and heat waves throughout the area and stuff. If the sun is so hot, and yet it is wintertime, when it's closest to you, how can that be? In winter, according to those scientists, they teach you that it is at what they call perihelion. The furthest point close to the sun is where we are now, and what do we have? Winter. Well, if the sun is hot, how can you have winter when you're close to the sun? When we get summer, according to their technology, we're at a point aphelion. Aphelion means the furthest point away from the sun. So why is it when it's furthest away from the sun, it's hot, and when it's furthest point to the sun, it's cold? Well, they go into jargon about the axial tilt and the inclination point and all this stuff. No, because they're also saying hydrogen to helium is how the heat generates its energy. Well, hydrogen helium means an element. If it's an element, then they also say again that these elements can whoosh down 3,000, 4,000, whatever again, 103,000, in a second of time. This energy just whooshes out. Well, then they also tell you that the speed of light is 186,000 mph, miles a second though, not hour, miles a second. That means then that an element, which is a gas, can travel faster than light, because they're saying in 300,000 miles a second or so, this thing can wish out. Something's wrong with the physics here. You can't have one and the other. You cannot have an element traveling faster than light if light is the fastest thing that they can record here. Something is wrong. Think about this one. The astronauts from supposedly these states or America, whatever we call it, space, and the cosmonauts, supposedly from Russia, and later on they called cosmonauts coming from Europe too, went out into space and they talked about the darkness of outer space. They had a whole series, Lost in Space, because when they got out there where the sun was so bright, they couldn't find it. They saw Epsilon Booty, they saw all the different stars much brighter than our own sun, because when they got out there they couldn't find it. And they talked about the coldness of outer space. If you're out there with the sun, how can it be cold? Something doesn't jive again. Somebody's physics, somebody's science is off. Or somebody is teaching you miseducation. Something is wrong. Now let's go back to what the ancients said. They said that there are people who live on the sun, called sun gods, and they worship him, and sometimes they would come off the sun. They stated that when you broke the cycle of incarnation on planets, you become incarnate on suns, forgetting again that you never have to have planets again, because a planet is a plan for souls that need to be taught. Suns are showing that you graduate and you become sons of the sun and go on and create other things. When you fail on the sun, you come to a planet. When you graduate on a planet, you go to a sun. They cannot make sunshine, and that's why the Chinese and Japanese have fought each other forever, because they said their squint eyes and stuff was because they were close to the sun, fell off of the sun, and my son's better than your son, and also your daughter's. You follow that one? I'm stretching you. I will play with you, but you're going to have to come up. If you notice, on the Japanese flag, it has 7 rays. The 7th sun. Okay? And they even tell about that. This is what their whole thing. And they said that Buddha had led them here on their pilgrimage when they came from a falling sun to a new sun. And that's why when they see the Chinese, they say, well, they just went on moons around there. You have not that right. They've been killing each other forever. They're not killing each other now. They're working together now. The reason they know now it's time for the foolishness to be put aside. They also worship Buddha. Now we understand that crazy people worship Buddha. The only God in creation that should be worshipped is through the Lord Jesus Christ that died for your sin here. Now I hope I'm not going to make you all get angry. I'm going to make you think like you're thinking now. Don't stop thinking now, because I start talking about your religion. Think even through religion. Understand this. Buddha met the black.
Come on. Come on.
Huh? Let's see.
Say that
Buddha
again.
means the black. In fact, it means hail the black. Now you wouldn't ever hail a black, so you wouldn't study Buddha, and you wouldn't believe in Buddha ever, because he looks like you. You don't want anybody looking like you to worship you. Huh? I mean, to hold homage to. Buddha means the black. Then we have these other people. They're from India and so, and they have Christe and Krishna. Now you know you can't understand that, because Hare Krishna means Hail Krishna. And Krishna means the black one. Wow. Those crazy Indians who were over here in America before they were discovered by Christopher believed in Krishna. And you know you can't believe anything like that because it looks like you. And you can't believe anything like you, can you? Can you? I can't hear you.
Yes.
Yes.
But you would never think about studying Krishna, would you? Because that's what those crazy laggard Indians who aren't until Columbus discovered them here when he didn't get here. Huh?
That's right.